do. So it's afternoon now. Today I started my live a little bit later. I think I'm going to try for a couple of weeks, starting around noon or a little bit after my daily live. Going to split the difference. I started usually been starting in the morning, but I think I'll start in the afternoon now and just see how it happens. See how the viewers join me. So tip right up front. Tip right up front. I've been editing a feature film for a client, and it's coming along great. I'm at the stage now where we're polishing everything. So he reviewed the very first, what I call the rough cut, and he liked it, which was great. Had some notes, made those notes, went in and made those fixes. The running time on the film is a little short. So it's for the feature is going to be submitted to a festival, so we need to get the running time up a bit. So I had an idea. I remember earlier, about 2 months ago, or 3 months ago, I gave you guys my first video about artificial intelligence for feature filmmaking or filmmaking, shorts or features, just artificial intelligence, the use for it. So I'm trying something different. Artlist. I think it's called Artlist. I had tried their product before and I really liked it. I just didn't have that much control over it. It seems to have gotten a little better. Still, it's not exactly the way it needs to be. It has a hard time making realistic photos that match the character's real look. So what I'm going to do is I'm trying something different. I'm going to get creative with it. This story involves a lot of psychological content and mystery. So it opens itself up to some creative special effects. So I made a couple of samples for the director and sent them to him last night. He likes them. I hope he likes them as much as I think I do. They're really creative. They're short bits of video that I'm going to create to supplement what we have there and to supplement the story so that we can fill in some of the storylines that need to be made a little bit clearer, I think, as far as from an editing point of view. So I'm going to get creative. I'm going to use some image generation from ChatGPT, stills, and what I'm going to do is on those stills, I'm going to do what's called the Ken Burns effect, where you have a still image and then you pan on that still image. So these will be thoughts of one of the characters. And also combining in with the panning and zooming, the Ken Burns effect, I'm going to use some little bits of video generated through Artlist. I think that's how I say it, A-R-T, Artist or Artlist, something like that. But you'll look it up. You'll look, if you want to find out, I'll put in the description below, I'll put the link to both of them that I'm using to create artificial intelligence content. And what I'm doing, which is a little bit unique, I'm combining it with the real actors. So I'm taking the image, this is the tip, I'm taking the image of the real actor, doing a screen capture, putting that into some of the artificial intelligence software programs that can generate video and some that can generate stills, and I'm using the actor as the source. And it looks, their looks look really close. You know, it's not, hasn't nailed it, still hasn't nailed it, so you can't tell if this actor is real or not. But the good thing about this project I'm working on, again, it's a psychological drama. And so it allows for dreamlike looking images that could be perceived as dreams, could be perceived as hallucinations. So I'm going to get creative with it. Like I said, the director likes it. I think I'm going to do the first act and then send it to him to get approval, where I use these elements to combine with real actors. So it's something different that I haven't done before, because obviously we didn't have this ability with this artificial intelligence for video and for stills. So I'm going to create something different, and hopefully he'll like it. And if he does, then I will go on to Act 2 and Act 3. So that's the tip. See if you can find a project that you're working on. I'm already working on this one. I'm hired to do the editing. So I'm going to see if I can incorporate some of this new technology into this feature. Again, it's not exactly where I want it. The only reason I'm able to do this because I have a personal relationship with the director. We've worked on many films together we've known each other for over 25 years. We've probably shot like 9 or 10 feature films that we sold together. So he trusts me. I know what kind of stuff he likes, and so I took a chance and pitched him this idea. And he, like I said, he seems to like it. And what I'm going to do is add imagery into the first act and extend it a little bit. I think the first act is a little bit short, and I want to fill in some of the areas that, as a viewer, as an editor and a viewer, I would want more details in specific scenes. So I'm going to add little bits of artificial intelligence generated content. So that's my tip. Try it out. If you're working on a project, give it a little try. You know, maybe the director or your client might be open to it. Get clearance first. Get clearance. Show them what you plan to do, and try some of the new technology and see if it can work into the project that you're currently working on. Because sometimes when you're testing it out and you're just randomly testing it out and you're doing things that you know, it's just for your own amusement or to figure out how this software works. That's what I did first when I first started it. And I had a good test. I see the potential. I still see the potential. But character recognition, I mean, character duplication, duplicating a character from scene to scene is still hard for it to do. And you can't tell an effective story if in each scene your lead actor looks a little bit different. So, and there's a lot of limitations on what you can and can't do. So if you're trying to tell a story, you can't have a piece of software telling you we can't do that or we can't make this because of the restrictions. This violates our, you can't work like that. It's not professional. So I'm giving it a try in this story and going to try and see. And again, the only reason I was able to do it is because it's abstract. It's Salvador Dali style imagery can work, you know, in this story. It doesn't have to be, the elements I'm creating are more dream visuals. They're not supposed to be realistic, lifelike images. So I'm using those images to enhance the story and enhance the delusions that the main character is having, the torment, mental torment he's going through. So the images I'm creating will represent his mental torment. So that's a tip. You might be able to do creative storytelling with artificial intelligence, video, and still images, because if it's in the dream world, if it's in a dream realm where things don't have to be consistent as far as viewers would look at a movie and say, well, this character doesn't look like the same character here, blah, 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 blah. You know, well, why is his shirt blue and then green, and then why is his one eye blue and now he's got green eyes? So if a story you're creating can open itself up to inconsistent characters, inconsistent landscapes and realities, then you may be able to use it. And that's what I thought of the other day when I was editing this project. And I know I needed to, you know, fill out a little bit of holes and stuff. And it opens itself up to that because a big element of it is dreams and fantasies and mental distress. So artificial intelligence can fill that bill because you don't have to worry about everything being consistent. Just think about your dreams. When you have a dream, one moment you may be at school and you're 15, and then the next moment you may be at home and you're 60. You know, so artificial intelligence can jump around like that because that's what it does. A lot of it does what it wants to do. You may ask for something, but then it gives you what it wants, or it tells you I can't do this because it violates our policy or our procedures or our studio or our system limitations. And also what's frustrating about that is sometimes I would ask it to do something to create a character that has a certain look, and it will do it. But then if I want to make a small change to that character, then it looks at the character and says, oh, this is a violation. We can't create a character that looks like this, or we can't create a situation where, you know, one character pushes another, you know. So it's, again, I know I'm sounding like a naysayer, but it's not ready for professional work from my point of view. I can't stand limitations like that when you're trying to create. You have ideas, you have a vision, you want something done, you want it done the way you want it. I guess that's the director in me. And you have software telling you can't do it because you're violating their policies. It's crap. And I'm paying for it. So I went back onto it's art list, I think. You'll see it in the description. When I post this video, I'll put the link to the site. And they're pretty good. I mean, the company is good. It's a little hodgepodge on the website where they're getting so much new content and so much new abilities. It's not organized well. So what I plan to do today is, near the end of the day, I'm going to search around on YouTube and see if there's someone who has been through the new user interface and is really familiar with it and give me a little bit of walkthrough, a tutorial or something like that. Just something short to point out where things are and what they do. Because it seems like as the company develops stuff, they're just sticking things wherever, little pop-ups. Oh, we can do this now. We can do this now. We can do that now. One thing I found out good last night, a little pop-up on their site, they can do voice cloning now, and it turned out really well. I took one of the actors' voices and I put it into the into the voice clone, and this is how I did it. You download the voice, and you can download. I don't remember what the minimum amount was, about a minute, 2 minutes, or whatever. But I think I had about 2 minutes of the actor's voice, and I uploaded that. And so what it does is it creates a character icon, and you give that character a name to represent the actor. And then you can go back and type in text, and it uses that voice to say what you want. So I made a funny message to send to the director and the writer within the character's voice. And it really sounded great. Amazing, amazing. It really, and you can adjust the speed and pace of the speaking. So what I had to do to get it to match the actor's pace a little bit better, there's notches that you can go, percentages that you can slow it down or speed it up. So I slowed it down one notch and it hit dead on. I almost couldn't tell the artificial intelligence clone of that actor's voice from the real actor. So it's a lot of uses, but a lot of limitations and early stages. I would call all of this a beta right now. I would call all of this a beta because, again, it can't do and it won't do some of the stuff you want it to do. But anyway, so that was my tip for today, mixing artificial intelligence in with real video that you shot or you're editing for someone. And this is my first chance to do it for a client. It's really interesting. I'm excited by it, and I'm going to move forward on that after I finish this video with you guys. I've been working on that. And also what I've been doing today, which is why I decided to come on the vertical live stream a little bit later, I took a tip that I learned from one of the YouTube gurus, and a free tip, and it's something I hadn't done. And when I went back and looked at it, I was able to optimize a lot of my old videos. Now I started, again, I've mentioned this before, I started earlier this year, probably the end of January, heading towards monetization here on my channel. Now I've been on YouTube for 18 years. Maybe almost 19, but I just used it as a portfolio. But last year was when I started going towards early this year, I started going towards monetization. So when I went back to look at some of my videos that I did this past January, I saw there was a lot of optimization. Now that I know more, I saw there was a lot of optimization errors I had made in those videos. And the descriptions weren't good. The titles weren't good. I had a tendency when I first started to put the titles, right on tone, whatever I decided the video would be, right on point of whatever I named the video. That was an error. So my titles now, I went back and I did 2 pages. Probably I did like 60 videos, so I took a break from that. I'll work on that again tomorrow. But I have some software tools that I use, vidIQ. vidIQ is what I use. And they give me some great suggestions for titles. They're not a sponsor. They're not a sponsor yet, but vidIQ, if you're watching, vidIQ, I'm open for sponsorship. I'd love to make some videos for you because I actually use your software and I actually benefit from it. So anyway, I went back to my optimization and my old videos that I had done. A lot of the titles were off, low performing titles. I was able to find titles and boost the searchability of my titles up really high. My descriptions was able to give me, vidIQ was able to give me descriptions that match the videos because it searches through the video, sees what the video's about, and then I could polish those, tweak those a little bit if I wanted, and better descriptions, better titles. And I went back through all the YouTube little boxes and checks that you have to do when you upload a video, and some I had left blank. I don't know what I was thinking. Sometimes I was rushing, I guess, too fast, or I wasn't paying attention to, where we shot the video, when I shot the video, um, the, the keywords, the top tags. So each video, I did like 60 today, from starting it with my very first video in January, and cleaned them up. And I think that's going to really help. And also, in closing, Monday, I shot my first hanging mic performance with a talented singer-songwriter. Please go to my channel and look at her. She did 2 songs. They're there. They're really well done. And I did an interview with her, a little short interview about each of the songs. And I am planning to do more. I have a number of musicians that want to come on and do an episode with me. So you're going to be seeing those. And then I'm going to talk more about how I shoot them. Now, one little tip I want to say before I wrap up today, my very first experience with the singer-songwriter hanging mic performance, it's kind of like an impromptu pop-up performance. And I shot them on the street. We have a hanging mic, and the singer-songwriter does their performance there. And so it worked out well. One of the things that I need to be aware of, and you need to be aware of if you decide to do something like this, is the sun position. Because obviously you have no control over the sun unless you have big flags that you can put up. But then that kills the impromptu ability of doing it wherever you want to do it and at any time you want to do it. So one thing I learned the hard way was not to shoot at noon when the sun is highest in the sky, because I have some harsh shadows. So that's one of the mistakes I made. And you can avoid that by shooting later in the afternoon or earlier in the morning, but not at the highest point of sun. All right, I will see you in the next one.